The sterile hospital room held nothing but silence and the rhythmic beeping of machines sustaining my failing heart. It was 2 in the morning when I confronted a truth more devastating than any cardiac arrest. My sons valued a birthday celebration over their dying mother. Isaac's words still reverberated through my consciousness. We can't abandon our guests. 3 cardiac failures in the ambulance, for minutes clinically deceased, yet my 42-year-old son prioritized his wife's appetizers. Benjamin's response proved equally crushing. Diana's meticulously planned soiree took precedence over his mother's survival. Fiona, the compassionate night nurse whose eyes reflected more tenderness than my family had shown in years, urged me toward rest. How could I find peace knowing Dr. Miller's explicit warnings had fallen on indifferent ears? This could be her final night, he told them. The attack was massive. Comes immediately. Their dismissals haunted me. Isaac insisted I could wait until tomorrow. Benjamin reasoned that since I'd always recovered from everything, surely this emergency could accommodate Diana's party schedule. They toasted with champagne 30 miles away, while monitors tracked each potentially final heartbeat. Those words, "always recovered," echoed painfully. I'd recovered when their father abandoned us 25 years prior, leaving me with adolescent boys and crushing debt. I'd recovered working 3 simultaneous jobs to fund their private education, pre-dawn office cleaning, afternoon diner shifts, midnight sewing that scarred my fingers permanently. I'd recovered after selling my beloved greenhouse, where they'd taken first steps, celebrated countless Christmases, to provide Isaac's down payment. Just temporary, Mom. 2 years maximum. 8 years had passed without repayment. I'd recovered after lending Benjamin my entire life savings, $28,000 accumulated through decades of penny pinching, for a business venture that collapsed within 3 months. Safe investment, Mom. 6 months with interest. Empty promises. I'd even recovered from Mayla's Christmas humiliation about my inappropriate olive dress, from Diana's dismissal of my Sunday dinners as too much work, from gradually being excluded because I was always giving opinions. But this transcended lost money or wounded pride. This concerned something irretrievable, the devastating knowledge that when mortality beckoned, they chose festivity over filial duty. Dr. Miller's grave explanation haunted me, for minutes without life, yet my children worried about preserving Mayla's decorative scheme. As dawn approached, something fundamental shattered within me. Not my damaged heart, something deeper, more essential. The final vestige of hope that perhaps I still mattered to someone evaporated like morning mist. Memory transported me backward 4 decades. Isaac at 2, Benjamin newly born, our cramped 2-bedroom dwelling in Lakeside with paper-thin walls. Robert worked the textile factory while I managed domestic duties, bathing my sons in a second-hand plastic tub filled with laughter and baby powder fragrance. Isaac remained perpetually attached, his chubby legs following me everywhere. Mommy, his constant refrain. Benjamin showed independence until illness transformed him into my shadow, requesting the lullaby inherited from my own mother. Everything for my children became my mantra as I sewed past midnight for weekend market sales. Every surplus dollar funded their necessities: footwear, educational supplies, Isaac's soccer, Benjamin's guitar lessons. I wore identical gray fabric for 2 consecutive years while they remained impeccable. Transformation began when Isaac turned 25, introducing Mayla, a calculating woman with manufactured smiles and pristine manicures. Her inaugural dinner visit involved assessing my residence, like dilapidated property. "Wouldn't Christmas at my place suit better?" she suggested with hollow pleasantness. My family maintains deeply rooted traditions. That December marked my first solitary holiday meal in 25 years. The untouched turkey lingered refrigerated for 7 days. Isaac praised Mayla's spectacular home, her mother's culinary excellence, as though 3 decades of my cooking held no significance. Benjamin followed identical patterns 2 years subsequently. Diana employed subtler manipulation, small observations accumulating like raindrops forming puddles of insecurity. "How lovely, your vintage sweater," delivered with condescension. Women our age require wardrobe updates occasionally. My perfected lasagna recipe received backhanded evaluation. Pleasant, though rather heavy. I prefer contemporary, lighter cuisine. Benjamin has adapted to my culinary approach. Family invitations grew sparse. Initial excuses, Diana's indisposition, children's academic pressures, evolved into simple exclusion. Linda, my lifelong neighbor, stated bluntly, "Your daughters-in-law are systematically removing you from your sons' lives." I've witnessed this narrative countless times. I refused acceptance. They're quality people, Linda. They require adjustment time. Adjustment? Linda scoffed. 5 years married, Cecilia. They've adjusted you into emergency-only grandmother status. The crushing blow arrived 2 years ago when Isaac requested $100,000 for Maylaw's dream residence in an exclusive district. I liquidated my greenhouse sanctuary, where height marks decorated doorframes, where first steps occurred, relocating to an elevator-less apartment building. They acquired their aspiration while I inhabited diminishment. My inaugural visit to their purchased home met with Maylaw's strained greeting at the threshold. "What a surprise, Cecilia. You should have telephoned first. We're expecting dinner guests." She barred entry to the residence I'd helped finance, treating me like an ill-timed solicitor. I brought chocolate cake. I offered. Isaac's childhood favorite. How thoughtful. Though we're pursuing healthier eating. Isaac's monitoring his cholesterol. She held my offering like contaminated material. That evening, tears saturated my pillow. My son faced health concerns I'd discovered accidentally at a doorway I'd helped purchase. Benjamin proved more direct when his electronics venture faltered. "Mom, I need $8,000 immediately. Without it, I'm facing years of debt. My entire pension savings, every dawn-hour dollar, every decade of careful preservation." Yet he remained my baby, the feverish infant I'd cradled through countless nights. Diana expressed outrage at my suggestion of documentation. "A promissory note? Seriously, Cecilia? What kind of mother charges interest?" I surrendered the funds without security. "He understands what this money represents," I reassured myself. 3 months later, the business dissolved, my savings vanishing with years of sacrifice and dignified retirement dreams. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. "At least I attempted it," Benjamin shrugged, as though my money were casino chips rather than decades of labor. Now, connected to life-sustaining machinery in this frigid hospital, I understood those moments prepared me for tonight, when masks finally fell, revealing naked truth. To my children, I was entirely dispensable. The pain commenced 3 days prior during Sunday lunch at Isaac's residence. My 66th birthday, though nobody recalled. Maylaw prepared light salad and grilled chicken, nothing resembling the celebrations I'd orchestrated for them as children. "You appear fatigued, Mom," Benjamin observed without lifting his gaze from his device. "Sleeping adequately?" Truth was, I hadn't slept properly for weeks. Strange chest pressure woke me nightly at 3, as though someone sat upon my ribs. But I refused to worry them or become another exaggeration. "Just mild heartburn," I dismissed. Maylaw released a dry laugh. "At our age, bodies process food differently, Cecilia. I advise my mother toward lighter meals, fewer spices, reduced fats. A 66-year-old body differs vastly from a 30-year-old's. That afternoon, Diana arrived with heart-crushing news. "We've secured a date for my birthday celebration. Wednesday, at the Grand Plaza Hotel Ballroom. I've been planning for months." Wednesday. My actual birthday had been Sunday unmentioned. Wednesday, they'd celebrate Diana with extravagant ceremony. "It'll be magnificent," Diana continued enthusiastically. "Premier catering, live music, themed decorations. Over 50 confirmed guests. Benjamin gifted me this gorgeous golden dress, $1,200. $1,200 for fabric, exceeding my biennial clothing expenditure." I remained silent, feeling chest pressure intensify while witnessing my son's proud smile for spending what lasts me 6 months. "You're obviously invited, Mom," Benjamin stated, tone suggesting forced courtesy rather than genuine desire. Though understand it's an elegant affair. Diana's invited numerous important colleagues. The message was transparent. Attend, but don't embarrass us. Tuesday night, a day before Diana's grand celebration, chest pressure became unbearable. My left arm ached. Nausea doubled me over. I telephoned Isaac at 11. Mom, what's wrong? We're watching a film. Son, I feel very ill. This chest pain won't relent. Did you take anything? Chamomile tea? Perhaps stress about Diana's party. We'll visit tomorrow after the celebration. I disconnected, feeling more isolated than ever. Even my pain had to wait for my daughter-in-law's festivities. That sleepless night, pain radiated through jaw, neck, back, like a giant elastic band constricting my torso. At 5 morning, I contacted Linda. My dear, those sound like heart attack symptoms, she declared after hearing my description. I'm coming immediately. No, Linda. It's Wednesday. Diana's party. I don't want to ruin. Ruin what, Cecilia? Do you believe a party outweighs your life? It turns out for my children it did. Linda arrived at 6, finding me bed-edge sitting, cold sweating, breathing laboriously. Hospital. Now. The taxi ride intensified pain unbearably, like a knife plunging into my chest center, slowly twisting. I squeezed Linda's hand with desperate strength. Emergency room events accelerated rapidly. Electrocardiogram showed alarming irregularities. Blood pressure was catastrophic. Cardiac enzyme levels confirmed physician suspicions. Massive heart attack. Immediate surgery required, Dr. Miller announced, preparing the gurney. Anyone we should contact? Close family? Through pain-choked, medication-slurred speech, I provided my children's numbers. Please tell them to come urgently now. Linda gripped my hand until surgical doors closed. I'll remain until you emerge. You're not alone, dear. But I was alone. As anesthesia took hold, my final thought concerned children preparing for festivities while I battled for existence. I awakened 6 hours later. Fiona checking vitals, Linda asleep beside my bed. My children were conspicuously absent. Did my children telephone? First question. Though Fiona's expression provided the answer. The doctor conversed with them during surgery. He explained 3 cardiac arrests, critical situation, immediate presence needed. My weakened heart contracted further. And their response? Fiona hesitated, clearly reluctant to deliver this betrayal. But I required complete truth. Your eldest son claimed they attended a very important party, couldn't abandon guests, believed you'd always been strong, felt certain you'd recover. Tears streamed uncontrollably. Not merely post-operative physical pain, but the agony of discovering Diana's party, with its $1,200 golden dress and elegant appetizers, valued more than all my years of devoted child-rearing. Your youngest son, Fiona continued softly, inquired whether they could visit tomorrow morning after the celebration concluded. Linda awakened hearing my weeping, immediately approaching. What happened, dear? Something hurting. Everything hurts, Linda. Having dedicated my entire existence to 2 children who prefer a party to knowing whether their mother will survive the night. At that moment, staring at the hospital ceiling at 3 morning while my children toasted champagne 30 miles distant, I made a decision that would alter everything forever. Following days became an emotional roller coaster I'd never anticipated experiencing. Every hour passing without children's calls felt like deeper stabs into an already literally broken heart. Fiona began avoiding my gaze when I inquired about incoming calls. Thursday morning, 24 hours post Diana's party, the room telephone finally rang. My heart raced so dramatically the monitoring machine began beeping alarmingly. Isaac. Mom, how are you? We just discovered your hospitalization. Why didn't you inform us? Blood rushed to my head. After everything, after physician's multiple calls, he possessed the audacity to question my silence. Isaac, I stated in an unrecognizable voice, the doctors contacted you Wednesday. They communicated I was dying, needed you immediately. Awkward silence pervaded the line. Oh, yes. Well, Diana's party was extremely important. People traveled considerable distances. We couldn't cancel everything. Besides, you've always been remarkably strong, Mom. We thought it could wait several hours. Several hours? My life could wait several hours? Mom, don't be dramatic. You're fine now, correct? The doctor said the operation succeeded. We'll visit Sunday after lunch. Does that work? Sunday. 3 days distant. My first heart attack could wait until after Sunday lunch. I disconnected without farewell. That afternoon, Benjamin arrived with Diana, radiant after her successful celebration, wearing golden earrings matching her party dress, makeup perfectly applied. I, meanwhile, had greasy hair, a stained hospital gown, tubes protruding from my arms. Their visit was brief, hollow, discussing party decorations, important contacts made. When they suggested senior living facilities, something hardened within me like cement. They wanted to warehouse me at $2,000 monthly, precisely what Diana's dress cost. That night, I drafted a letter, not merely correspondence, but a complete emotional inventory. 66 years of sacrifice, documented. Every abandoned dream, every unrecognized gesture, every choice made for children who viewed me as disposable. Dear Isaac and Benjamin, I wrote with trembling hand. For 66 years, I've existed for you. Every decision, every sacrifice, every dream abandoned prioritized your well-being. Today, having been clinically deceased for 4 minutes, I finally understand. You've never lived a single day considering mine. I detailed everything. Robert's abandonment, triple employment to fund their education, selling my home for Isaac's down payment, lending Benjamin my life savings. Most importantly, I detailed their ultimate betrayal, choosing Diana's party over their dying mother. Therefore, I've made a decision that will alter our lives permanently. I will no longer exist as a mother begging for attention crumbs from children who view me as nuisance. When you read this, I'll already be gone from your lives forever. Don't search for me. This is my definitive goodbye. Friday morning, Linda arrived with a small suitcase containing clothes from my apartment and $8,000 in cash, my secret savings. Ready for your new life, dear? More than ready, Linda. I've been waiting for this moment for years without realizing it. At 7 evening, as hospital corridors emptied and night shift settled into relaxed routine, Linda and I executed the plan that would change my life forever. We walked through corridors like normal visitors leaving after hours. Fiona's sister Sarah, an attorney, awaited in the parking lot with power of attorney documents. Mrs. Stone, Sarah extended her hand professionally. What you're doing requires tremendous courage. I signed all papers under yellowish parking lot illumination, feeling each signature moved me further from previous existence, closer to freedom.